For Adonis, the poem means to network, and it is not just an expression of a single thought, but a poem basically is meant to be a network of sentiments through different times and places. Adonis is one of the founders of the modern Arab poetry and the father of the modernism in the Arab world. His poems are appreciated by Arabs and Western readers alike. And today we are going to have reading in Arabic and in English. And Professor Khalid Matawa from Detroit, who has translated some of his poems, and the book is outside, will be available for sale if you want Adonis to write a note for you in it. He will be available. And all the copies ran out last Sunday in the museum. So we are going to have a reading of poetry that is very deep and sentimental, and some of them have some different kind of approach. Basically, Adonis at one point has really written about Sufism, and some of his poetry addresses this aspect of human spirituality. So from poetry, Adonis did not stop. He said, okay, poetry cannot fit religion or ideology. Let us start breaking the boundaries of religious texts and ideological texts. And here he started becoming even a more controversial figure in Middle East, and he loves this notion, and he can defend it any time. These boundaries were demarcated by religions, traditions, authoritarian traditions, and so he started really having a big sledgehammer and breaking in a time when it was very hard to even say a word about these traditions. Now he opened the way for a new generation that can address these issues in a very enlightened fashion. Adonis thinks today that the need to change the framework of thinking and reasoning is very important. Without the changing in this framework, will not progress forward. And in the center of this is your ability to practice your simple right that distinguishes you from other creatures, the right to ask questions. If you don't ask, you'll not learn. And he doesn't pretend that he knows everything and he is a truth teller, because he doesn't know the truth. He just brings questions up and people will study them and produce solutions. Adonis also is a very strong fighter for secular democracy and full separation of religion from state. Adonis has written more than 30 books and translated more than 20 books, and his works were translated to multiple languages. The most famous book, in 1974, I was 15 years old, it was a book about the الثابت والمتحول, the fixed and changing, 4 volumes about different problematics in the poetry and in the philosophy. But the most recent one that I've read for him is a very breathtaking book, and I encourage you to look it up, the small book called Sufism and Surrealism, when he really compares what appears to be 2 conflicting ideologies or theories or schools, but he draws many parallels that make you feel like they are very similar. Very creative parallels that he draws. No one has really made this kind of parallelism between these 2 schools. Regarding women's rights, Adonis has a little bit unique approach. And this was in the last Saturday's issue of the New York Times that Ali emailed to me. Say, the person who is oppressed is the woman, but the real slave is the man. Caught up in defending his enslavement is the man. Woman should help him become free. A totally different approach. The woman is oppressed, but the man is enslaved by his thoughts and his approach to the woman causes. Adonis' secular and scientific philosophy can be used globally against those who try to impose their religious dogma on others. It is easier for me to explain the causes that Adonis fight for in Texas than many other states, because there are so many parallels, so many similarities between the culture that Adonis is fighting against. Last month, several Iraqi Islamic parties petitioned the Ministry of Education. They were asking for several things. Number one, to remove any education related to evolution from the curriculum. In Iraq, the curriculum is very thick, very big, very intense, and it has a lot when you finish the high school, like as if you have finished the college. So to remove everything related to the evolution. Number two, remove all the figures of human rights and women's rights history in Iraq. And number three, to remove anything about the history of oral contraceptives. And when I read it, I thought that these guys should have or must have exchanged notes with the Texas Board of Education. The last word I would like to say that although we love Adonis and his books and his philosophy and thinking, the foundation really does not endorse his views. Our function is to introduce thinkers from the Arab world who represent different aspects of our culture to our audience, and that should be clear. Also with Adonis today is Khalid he came to this country when he was 15 years old, and Khalid Mutawa is very prominent. He's a poet that goes all around, gives lectures and poetry. And he did a great job, great work by translating some poems into this book. And he is going to read to you from the book, and Adonis is going to read in Arabic. Please join me to welcome the most important living poet in the Arab world today, Adonis.